Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Well, I hope the mic does sound right. Hi, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And I'm going to do a little something for my foundation, and that's the Iraqi Dinar viewers. And I'm going to go over Dinar recaps, news, rumors, and opinions for Saturday morning, 7/22 of 20 and 23. That is today. And I'm going to do a little something to show you how I tend to peruse through this type of information. And it's a very abbreviated version of what I do, but I'll say a phrase that many people understand. Trust but verify. I'm not saying you should trust these statements, but I do believe in that philosophy. In certain relationships, you trust but verify. And then in other relationships, it's trust no one unless they earn it. That's for you to decide, and I hope you trust me enough to come back and subscribe and like my channel, share my videos. And I'm not a daily video maker, but I hope and I assure you that I try. When I do make a video, you get something out of it. So what you're going to get out of this one today? I already told you. Restored Republic. We're going to do some news, rumors, and opinions for Saturday morning. And Restored Republic via a GCR update. We have Judy note. It says, as of Thursday, 20 July, FedNow was up and running on the new global financial system. The payment system offered instant, round-the-clock ability to issue a paycheck or pay an invoice. So far, 35 banks, including JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of New York Mellon, have signed up to use the Federal Reserve's FedNow instant payment system. Now, of course, this is the 22nd. It happened on the 20th. It's not current news, but it's certainly news. And the thing about it is, this information, whether you like Judy Byington or not, I don't know her, so I don't dislike her. I share her material when I read it, but I don't just share it. I verify it. Now, everyone knows that it's happened. It provides a link here and I clicked on that link, and if you click on that link, what you end up where is here, Axios. FedNow is live with 35 banks. Look at that faster dollar running through the air. And it says America now has two instant payment systems. FedNow, operated by the Federal Reserve, went live this morning. It runs in parallel to RTP, the 5-year-old real-time payments system operated by the clearinghouse. Sounds like a little bit of competition to me. Why it matters, it says, it's not yet obvious that two is better than one, especially given that the two systems are not interoperable. Well, they're not interoperable because they're not cooperable. There's a financial war going on. It says by the numbers, so far 35 banks have signed up, and you can see it lists the ones that I just said, but notably, it doesn't include Citigroup or Bank of America. Now, who does use Bank of America for those who are in the know on instant payments? I mean, who does Bank of America use, I should say? Sounds like a Ripple event. So sounds like Ripple and the Fed are not necessarily on the same side. But until we get this all resolved, what's the benefit to you and me, or those of us who are still employed and working and getting a paycheck, we'll say, which wouldn't include me, in all frankness? Well, here's an answer. What is that? They're asking me to do something I didn't ask me before. Get out of there. Paychecks could clear in seconds rather than days with FedNow, the newest U.S. banking tool. It comes with tools to help detect fraud, make transactions safer for companies or individuals using the source. The Federal Reserve launched a new instant payment service Thursday. FedNow allows banks and credit unions to sign up and send real-time payments so they can offer customers a quicker way to send money between banks. It sounds like an attempt for survival to me, folks. I'll be honest with you. It sounds like somebody's trying to keep alive, because those of us who have our finger deeper on the pulse, we're getting like the femoral artery, not just the wrist artery. Go's going to destroy the Fed, and I'll touch on that later. But going back to FedNow, when you read this information here, guess what? You can say that that's true. How about the next piece? As of Friday, July 21, yesterday, redemption centers were on high alert awaiting liquidity of the global currency reset. Now, there's no way I can say whether or not redemption centers are on high alert or not. I know everybody's awaiting liquidity, but you can add a little veracity to it if you consider the possibility, is there a global currency reset? Is there such a thing? Well, some feel like there is, like the Toronto Star. It says, why the US dollar will be replaced as the dominant global currency sooner than you think. I've already touched on that. A new world order may be coming in global finance, writes Frank Giustra, I guess. As this sort of transition isn't always peaceful. No, it's not. Notice the goal. I'm just hinting at it again. But we're not going to read the whole story. But are they alone? Well, no. Because you can see here, gold will play a role in the coming global monetary reset as US dollar loses its dominance by Maxime I guess. And then it has Cornelius Christian. I don't know who wrote it. They'll get props on the description, but nonetheless, it says a global monetary reset is inevitable as fiat currencies are being debased due to excessive money printing. We can't argue against that now, can we? The US dollar will be dethroned as the dominant global reserve currency. Seems like a theme is forming. And by currencies backed by a basket of commodities, including gold, according to Maxime Bernier, founder and leader of the People's Party of Canada. That's bogey, and I gotta take a break. Okay, let's try some more. Bogey, by the way, if you're new to the channel, those who've been around know, is a yellow-faced Amazon parrot who is primarily my wife's pet. He tends to want to talk whenever I talk. And I have to find places to hide from him because, as you probably saw, his sound is pretty piercing. And yes, it does go through walls, and I don't have a soundproof studio. Absolutely not. Yet, we'll say. But continuing on, it says here a commodity-backed money system will happen. I don't know when, but a fiat money system cannot live too long. And after many decades, with all this debt and money printing across America and Canada and Europe, it will have to end. Well, I'm not going to argue with that because, see, I agree with that. Let me give you some examples a little bit later on how I agree with that by covering the next topic, which is restart of planet Earth now with NESARA and GESARA. Now, of course, they have a link there to check on. It's the rumor mills link is what it is. And if you click on that link, you end up going here. And this one addresses the restart of planet Earth and the NESARA and GESARA. Now, you can click on this link because it will be provided in a description if you're interested. If you don't want to work and read too much and you want to do a little bit more than work, then listen, I'm a little more listening than working to read yourself, I have some other options for you to consider. Here's one option, Iraqi Dinar, Gold Standard, GCR, coming your way soon. A video I did August of a couple years ago. Is it still timely? Absolutely, it's still timely. Because it gives information regarding what is termed as the Great Reset. And it compares the Great Reset with the global currency reset. Like I said earlier, there's a war going on. You might want to check it out. That's option one. But I have another option for you too. Here's another option. Iraqi Dinar and GESARA. You look for that thumbnail. It poses the question, are they connected? Is the Iraqi Dinar connected to a global economic reset, a GESARA? That video actually addresses that question. And I followed it up with another video, Iraqi Dinar and GESARA, without totally giving it all away. That video is titled Iraqi Dinar and GESARA. Yes, they are connected. That's not a clue. That's kind of a giveaway. But nonetheless, you still ain't gonna learn nothing about it if you don't watch the video, but an answer to the previous video. That's another option. But wait, there's more. One more. And it's called NESARA GESARA. Should we put faith in them? I give a little oratory at the end of them, a little passionate communication about where our faith really should go. But those are some options that you might want to do unless you want to read a lot. So let's go check out a little bit of that read a lot. One thing it talks about is it gives a specific date. It says on July 27th, we're going to have the restart of planet Earth with the GESARA and NESARA announcement and schedule of events. Posted by Mr. Ed. I don't know Mr. Ed. I don't know anything about this, but I am referring to his information. So if you know Mr. Ed, great. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm not trying to be stingy on sharing. I just hope that if you like what I do, that you share it as well. You can see here, and that way you can pause the screen if you like to read a lot. There's a read a lot. Because, see, this is DK. We'll talk about it. So I might talk a lot. I don't know if I'm going to read a lot. So let's get back to news, rumors, and opinions, because I have something else I want to talk about. You see, moving on from there, we're talking about the global currency revaluation of 127 countries, okay? And without, beating into the ground, because some of this is repeat of the things that we've already read, but it says on the 18th of July, monies began flowing out of Zurich, the Iraqi budget, with a new dinar rate, and it was released to the Iraqi provinces, and funds were positioned for distribution. Paymasters were given liquidity, and wells were beginning to be paid. Sounds like money's moving. I haven't seen any. As of Saturday, 21 July, some wells had been paid, and some had not. All could see monies in their accounts, and all were under NDAs. I remember reading something about that, I think, from the Mark Z line of talking. It says the Iraqi budget with the new dinar rate in it was implemented in all Iraqi institutions. Now, that's a big deal. Again, we got another one about the new dinar rate in the budget. We've already covered the FedNow instant payments, and then it goes on to cover the other point. It says multiple sources have reported that disbursements have been completed this week, and everything was now done. I guess that's to the people who pay, because what they call paymasters, because it certainly wasn't to me, and if it was to you, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. So it ain't to us, is it? And then it says redemption centers are on high alert. Notification should come sometime between Friday 20 July to Sunday 23 July. Now I'm going to address that. How many times have we heard that? That's from Bruce, apparently. Somebody's stringing Bruce like a cat with a string. That's why I don't buy into it, and that's why I don't often do videos about the Iraqi dinar specifically, because it is an echo chamber that will drive you mad and crazy. Mad as in crazy, not mad as in angry, and I just don't do that. Okay, moving on, it talks about all financial changes were expected to complete. I expect that. Last week, on July, U.S. citizens would receive restoration allowances that paid them back illegal interests. The last week, paid them back illegal interest given to the cabal, plus SS payments would increase. That'd be nice. We shall see. And then again goes on 23rd of August that there will be a new gold asset-backed quantum financial system would be made public. There's a video on that, a few videos on that from DK Will here on this channel about the quantum financial system. And to cut a long story short, you might want to find them and watch them, but the short story of it all is the quantum financial system is legitimate. It does exist. But now let's go back to that rate thing. After we address this here. Walking Stick says, the fact of Iraqi life of the Middle East life, it says Iraq has a tendency to get its own way, but the reforms point only one way, a new exchange rate, because everything waits for a new exchange rate. It's that simple. That's a man expressing his opinion. How can you find fault with an opinion? Okay, Iraq is on the verge of, you can disagree with an opinion, but finding fault with opinions kind of implies your opinion is better than their opinion. But opinions are like what's? Yeah, you give that some thought. Iraq on the verge of urban renaissance upon implementation of the budget. This is on our news. Frank says, you think a program rate, a sanctioned toilet paper valued program rate currency is going to take them into the Renaissance? That's a good question, Frank. My answer is no. I don't think that. I mean, how many ways can Sadani encourage the citizens of Iraq? It's coming. Yeah, it probably is, but it's been coming now for a couple of decades, and that's why I just don't buy in. However, the point that I wanted to bring out in wrapping up coverage of this news, rumors, and opinions for Saturday morning was something that I stumbled across when I decided to do what I always do, is go out and look and try to verify things to see what I can come up with that says, okay, could be some truth to that. Now, I'm looking for facts and developments. I'm not looking for hopium and promises, because if I was looking for hopium and promises, I'd be an addicted dope hopium fiend right now, and I'm not. And that's why you don't get frequent day after day communications about the Iraqi dinar from my channel. But when I cover it, I put the blanket on it, and I cover what I think matters. So what happened that I think matters that I found interesting? Well, when I searched up the Iraqi dinar rate, you can see there in the search bar, Iraqi dinar exchange rate change. I was trying to see if there was any changes in the Iraqi dinar rate. And one thing I did find on the XE, you can see there, it says it's 1312.59 Iraqis to the dollar. That's kind of common to what we've seen before. And that was dated, didn't have a date, but this one did. July 19, 2023. We see a similar 0.000763. Up here it was 0.000762, we'll say. So kind of close. And then we see a conversion of 0.00076, 1309 for the Iraqi dinar. But those aren't the ones that I found most interesting. The one I found most interesting is this one right here, where it says 3.58 Iraqi dinar to the US dollar. Now, if that were true, a million Iraqi dinar would be worth about $280,000. And it says it's from likeforex.com currency converter. I don't know who they are, but what I do know is when I clicked on it, and I'll do it here with you so you can see what I saw. And I went through the same thing last time. It took longer than I wanted it to take, because when anything takes too long on my laptop, I get a little cautious of it and afraid of it, and I run from it. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to hope that it gets there. I don't think it's going to get there. What I think it's going to do is going to show you the same thing that I saw. And that's what I saw. This site can't be reached. It took too long to respond. So I don't know how that site ended up in the search engine for Microsoft Bing, but it's certainly there, and then they made it evaporate, and it was put in there 2 days ago. Am I saying it means anything? I don't know if it means a single thing, folks. I'm sharing the information. But as far as it goes here and covering the news, rumors, opinions for today, there has not been a significant exchange rate change that they're sharing with the United States citizens. And if I have somebody who listens to my channel from another country that knows more and has their foot on the ground, their boots on the ground closer than we are, I hope you come in and comment or share it. And if you can share anything, if they let it pass through the barriers of communication that are in existence today, I'd love to see it. Well, folks, that's my coverage of the dinar recaps. I'm not going to give you hopium. That's some of the scuttlebutt out there on this, and some of it is very true. The FedNow is true. The banks involved are real. The global currency reset is a real deal. However you term it or label it, it's going to happen. The quantum financial system is real. You have a lot of video choices of mine, and I'll tell you about the video choices on my channel. You can pick them and listen to them, and not only will you get information that's actually very good and very insightful in helping you maybe adjust your paradigm to where you're approaching your money, you will also get the benefit of seeing that it was kind of heading in the right direction, because a lot of those I showed you earlier were 2 years old. Go look at them. See how timely they were then and how timely they are now, because they were forward projecting. But what they were not was hopium. We don't do drugs here. And we don't do drugs here because I'm DK Will. And DK Will don't do drugs. But this is DK Will talk about it. And I talked about it. Now I will do that. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.